So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront, and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. How are you? Come on in here. We are talking rules today. Rules. What if you could have some rules you could follow that just were? It is what it is. And if you knew them and you followed them, you could just relax and say, well, that's the way it is. Let's do it. That would make life easier, wouldn't it? You could kind of take a breath knowing that it's just going to be what's going to come your way and you just can't change it. And we'll talk about that today. Now, if you don't like rules, we might have a problem with that, but we'll talk about that as well here in just a minute. It is a daily boost from motivationtomove.com. Every single day, this is what we do. My name is Scott Smith. Happy to have you here today. Have you ever been doing what you love to do? I've done this show a long time. It is second nature to me. I can do it in my sleep. I think sometimes I almost have ideas all the time. I just walk in, I do it, and it just keeps growing every single year. It's pretty awesome. Thanks for that. But today I'm in my studio, and it's a beautiful day, and I said, I'm done. Nothing else to do. Let's get out of here. Let's go down to the beach. And I went down to Daytona Beach, down to Beach Street. There's a nice coffee shop down there, and just took myself down there and said, I'm going to have a good cup of coffee. And I'm sitting there enjoying my latte. And it dawned on me that I had not yet recorded the very podcast you're listening now. I had not done it yet. It completely slipped my mind. So I had to get up and come all the way back home. Fortunately, I was on my motorcycle, so it wasn't that bad an experience. And here we are talking about rules. So let's cover this first. Are you a rules person? Do you like the word rule? A lot of folks do. A lot of people don't. I mean, I'm kind of a rules guy. Once I know the rules, I stay between the lines because I think certain things are good for you. We'll talk about that today. Sometimes as a rules person who likes to bend the rules, which would be me as well, I like the word no sometimes. What I find is people, when they think about rules, sometimes the no word comes into play. Do you like to say no? Most people I know like to say no, but they have a hard time saying no. Do you like to hear no? I don't like to hear no. Do you like to hear no? In my world, it's a perfect world if I never have to say no and I get to say no to lots of people. That way I get to do what I want to do. But because there are certain rules in the world, I can't always do that, can I? Now, it doesn't sound all that bad, really. Well, maybe it does. But if you want to move your life in the direction that you want it to go, you don't want to be rude. You don't want to get outside the lines too much. You don't want to be, kind of that guy over there. You'll be a nice person. Enjoy your life. But still, you can say no. That's okay. Let's talk about some rules and some things to expect in this world. I have 8 of them here, so we'll go through them 1 through 8. How's that? Number 1, you know me, I always say face your passion. I believe you should follow your passion. Now, when I say follow your passion, I'm not saying some whimsical thing, go out and follow your passion. Oh, let's find my passion. No. It's more like follow your calling. What's speaking inside of you. The thing that says, I just got to do it. The thing that you can't not do it. The thing that will make you change everything to go do it. And most of us have found those things. This is one of my passions I'm doing here today. You probably couldn't stop me from doing this. The money will arrive when you follow your passion. You've heard that before? Is it true? Yeah, sort of. It may take longer than you think to get there. It may be less than you believe. It doesn't matter. You're going to be happy. I know. That's weird to say, isn't it? And the truth is, let's talk to the folks out there who are like really, really practical. No, if you do what you're passionate about and you're broke, you're not going to be happy. That is absolutely not true. There are a lot of people who are happy that way. Now, is that me? No. But there's a fine line. The trick is this, and this is where I focus all the time with all my coaching. Every single person I ever talk to is this. I want you to do what you're passionate about doing. However, I also want you to make a good living doing it. And in between is where we figure it out. It is possible. What's next? Number 2. Nothing will ever happen until you move from daydreaming into daily action. Now, you have heard that more times than you probably had birthdays. Nothing will really happen until you move from daydreaming into daily action. Cannot tell you how many people, year after year after year, say the same thing, write the same goals down, and never do anything about it because they're always waiting. Well, this year we're going to have a baby this year. In fact, I'm talking to a client right now who we had the conversation this morning, and she's probably listening right now, planning on having a baby and was going to put something off for a year. And I said, well, what if you didn't have to put it off? What if you could have the baby and do the goal? Well, that would be this and this and this. I said, okay, yes, it's hard, but what if you could? My job is to push you a little bit to get there. But nothing will happen if you just sit around and keep thinking about it. At some point, you have to go into action. Wow, we have 6 more. Okay, number 3.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
The road's going to be rough, and then it's going to smooth out, and then it's going to be rough again. And then it's going to smooth. You get my point, right? It doesn't matter what direction you go. Listen, you can go the easy road and it's still going to get rough. And then it's going to get better and then it's going to get rough. Or you can go the hard road and it's going to be great. And then it's going to get not great. And then it's going to get great. It's just the way it is. That's how life is. Cross your fingers that whatever's good right now keeps going. And if things are not good right now, you just understand one thing. Can't last forever. This storm will pass, right? Number 4, whatever path you thought you would travel, it's going to change. I'm a firm believer that whatever calling, whatever you're feeling that gets you to take that first step is merely the first step. The plan is not completed. You just think it is. Oh, if I do this, that's where I'm going. I don't know that that's where you're going. I don't know that you know that's where you're going. I think you'll find out. But I think everything comes into play and you find yourself being called in a certain direction and you find yourself going down a path. And 5 years later, you wake up and say, how the heck did I get here? But man, this is cool. I never saw this one coming. Would have never thought myself doing this. What I do now for a living here today, a lot of folks who do the podcast thing, they had never thought they were going to do a podcast thing. But I started 20 years ago when nobody else did it. And I was in radio, so it's kind of easy for me to do this. But I wanted to go on a different kind of work to help people. I would have never thought of it going down that path if not for one day the podcast thing was invented. I said, okay, well, I guess I can just talk about other stuff. And that's what I did. Had no idea it would take me down this path. Number 5, your speed limits will be there. You're going to find them. Sometimes you're going to move slowly, sometimes fast. Pay attention to the signs that arrive in your life. And what I mean by that, sometimes you want to go fast, but you can't. You got to go slow. Sometimes you You want to go slow, but you're in a hurry. You got to get stuff done. It's just going to happen. So check the speed limit. Go, go, go all the time. The hustle and grind culture is not all it's cracked up to be. But you also just can't sit around and do nothing. So figure out the speed limit. Pace yourself along the way. We do something with our clients. I do something with my clients. We put them in cycles. We run them fast for a little bit and then require a break. Imagine that. A coach that says, hey, you worked hard, take a vacation. I won't start unless I know what your break's going to be. Speed limits. Number 6, frustration will be your constant companion. That's true. You are going to be so frustrated all the time. That's terrible, Scott. Motivate me, inspire me. Okay. Sometimes excitement's going to be your total companion. I can be frustrated and excited all at the same time. Usually I'm so excited to do what I'm doing, I'm just frustrated by all the little things getting in the way. Which one do you want to look at? Where do you want to focus? It's always going to be there. You're never going to not have frustration. You're never going to just always be excited. Number 7, you must be strong to stay focused on the big picture. This is hard to do. When you get caught up in the muck of the day, it's hard to remember what you were going to do in the big picture. That is, of course, assuming that you have already imagined and visualized what the big picture is. I have a wife, I'm married to her, and she doesn't see the big picture. Her big picture is, well, we'll see what happens. That's her answer. And when she says that to me, I'm like, what? We can't do that? No way. You know me, I've got to go figure it out. I got to see it. I got to work toward it. She's like, we'll see what happens. We're actually a good match. She kind of keeps me balanced. Finally, when you arrive, there's one thing I know for sure. You see, it is truly the journey, not the destination. That's why sometimes you get to the end when you arrive, it's like, oh man, that's kind of anticlimactic. That's because all the fun was had getting there, right? What ends up happening is this. When you arrive and you think you have arrived, you think that's where you're going to stay. No, you're human. You immediately set another goal. You seek another adventure. You don't stay put where you are. You keep growing and growing and growing. If you've ever found yourself doing that naturally and wondered why, well, it's just because it's natural. That's it. So a couple of things that you can just kind of relax into a little bit, just understand. And I know a lot of this, I was thinking of you as I was going through this process and reading my bullet points here. I'm thinking, where you may be. You may be thinking, man, when's this going to pass? When am I going to get through this frustrating time? And now you will. It's just going to pass in time, and you take a breath and get through it. That's all you can do. That's it. When do I have to not go so fast? It's coming, trust me. When will I not be so frustrated? Maybe tomorrow. I can't do better than that, right? This cat. I'm not going to lie to you. But once you understand this, here's what happens. Suddenly all this stuff just kind of takes less precedence in your life. You kind of go like, oh, okay. Well, this is the way it is. You just don't worry about it anymore. And that's what the lesson is for today's podcast. Just don't worry about it. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow.